So we are live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. Welcome, guys. Again, we're going to be starting the Beat Your Diabetes online support group. This is a support group. If you have prediabetes, type 2, type 1, whatever you have, we're here for you. My name is James Marin. I'm a holistic registered dietitian. I have my own private practice called Married to Health. You can get more information about me at marriedtohealth.com. Welcome. This is our third installment, guys. We're already on number 3, okay? And I'm going to just share this. We're going to start officially in like a minute or two. I'm just sharing this. And as a reminder, all of you can share this as well. Guys, share this on your page. Share this in diabetes groups you're in. Share this with other groups you're in, people that need to hear this information about diabetes. Many of you, again, guys, not all of you, but a majority of you, 90 to 95% of you can reverse your diabetes symptoms, okay? You can beat your diabetes essentially because about 90 to 95% of you are type 2 diabetics. Now, type 1 is a little different, but even with that, you can make things a lot better. You can get off a lot of your medication. You don't have to use and depend on so much medication. So, one more minute, guys, and it's 7 o'clock. We're just getting some more people on. I'm sharing this. Again, if you guys want to share it. Hope you're all doing well. How are you guys doing? Hope you're having a great weekend. Cool. Okay. All right. Okay, guys. All right. Again, let me know what questions you guys have. Let's see. Okay. Almost time. Share this. Thumbs up if everything's looking good. Let me know if things are looking weird or you can't hear me for whatever reason. Okay. And if I don't get to your question, still comment, still leave the question. I'll try to respond to it in text, or we'll add it to the next Beat Your Diabetes. Again, guys, we're doing this twice a month. This time I want to focus on supplements. So I'm guessing you're taking supplements, right? A lot of people are taking supplements, okay? So when you're taking supplements, it's important to really understand, okay, why am I taking these supplements? What are these supplements going to do? But before we get into that, and as we officially start, I wanted to kind of recap, guys. The first time we met, we talked about what is diabetes, okay? We talked about why you get diabetes, what it is, okay? Second time, we talked about medication, even though we didn't. We still kind of rolled over from the first one. We didn't really get into medication, so even now we can get more into medication. We can get into supplements as well. So I want to answer your questions, so comment the questions, especially for those on Facebook. They are live. For those of you on YouTube, I'm not seeing your questions. Yeah, here we go. Hope I can see your question. Doing it a little differently, guys, so I apologize. But definitely on Facebook from YouTube, go to our Facebook. You can put in your questions. I'm not seeing them on YouTube or whatever. Let's get into medication. How many of you are on medication, right? I'm guessing a lot of you, whether it's metformin, whether it's some type of insulin, a fast-acting, a slow-acting insulin. The idea of medication, this is something I tell my patients all the time, is that medication, well, let me back up. You were on a nice boat cruise. You were having a good time. You fell off the boat. Medication is a life preserver. Medication is something you give to a person with the idea to get them back on the boat. You're not going to just leave them in the water with the life preserver and then, oh, you know what, you're having some other issues. Here's another life preserver. Here's another. Pretty soon you're on 8 to 10 to 12 medications. I come across patients like that all the time. You're on many, many different medications. You're having issues. The idea is to pull you back on the boat, take off the life preserver, get you off medication. And that is possible. Again, for many of you out there, even if you have type 2 diabetes, your pancreas isn't dead. It's just the cell. Remember, this is going back. This is kind of a review. The cell and insulin are not communicating. So we got to get them communicating. Now, so that's pharmaceuticals in a summary. And if you guys have more questions, leave the questions in the comments. I will answer them. Now, that's the the pharmaceuticals. Now, what about nutraceuticals? Nutraceuticals meaning supplements, right? You hear about cinnamon, you hear about apple cider vinegar pills, you hear about Lord knows what, right? There's always something new. You're taking a green powder, you're taking a red powder. You know, what about supplements? Should you be taking supplements as a diabetic? What are safe supplements to take as a diabetic? And so again, guys, I don't know your past medical history. I don't know your lab, so I'm speaking generally. So take what I'm saying in a general sense, not that it actually applies to you. Maybe a lot of you it does, but I would like to see you one-on-one, if anything, before I recommend something specific. But in general, many of you are taking multiple supplements. Maybe you have a personal trainer or a friend or family member who sells supplements. Maybe, you know, they're recommending certain supplements, and this is going to be great. Hey, you don't have to change what you're eating. You don't have to change what you're doing. You just take supplements along with your medication. Before you know it, you're taking like 15 pills a day, okay? So the idea is that you're micromanaging your body, okay? And you don't like to be micromanaged at work. I don't like to be micromanaged at work. So why are you trying to micromanage your body? And so your body is so complex, okay? If you just think about our brain, you think about our circulatory system, we are so complex. So the fact that you're trying to micromanage this complex body is kind of foolish, right? I mean, it is foolish because you're trying to take something for the liver, you're trying to take something for the pancreas, you're taking something for blood flow, you're taking something for whatever, headaches, you know. I don't want to completely diss supplements. Okay, there are some supplements that are good, but my point is that if your foundation of nutrition is not there, if you're trying to talk or take a bunch of supplements before you actually take care of your nutrition, you're like chasing your tail, right? You're going down a hole that it's going to be really hard to get out from, okay? Because supplements are not perfect, even though they're more natural, right? So again, supplements are nutraceuticals and medications are pharmaceuticals, okay? They're a little more natural, okay, but that doesn't mean they're always safe because you have to understand supplements are processed. They're usually processed in facilities. The ingredients might be coming from overseas like China and South America because just like the pharmacy companies, these supplement companies want to make money. A lot of that time, the supplement companies use cheap ingredients that they can get in big quantities that maybe they are sprayed with pesticides, maybe they use bad labor practices, you know, maybe they are adulterated in some way, they're not just doing the testing. So with that being said, if you are taking supplements, I highly recommend one, they're USP certified, two, usually supplement companies now, especially protein supplements, will recommend that it's pesticide free or they're actually testing for pesticides and heavy metals. If your supplements aren't doing those three things, you should highly question them, okay? So it's not as easy, unfortunately, as like, hey, I was at Costco and I got this big thing of fish oil, or I was at Costco and I got this big thing of protein, okay? Not all supplements are created equal, and you have to wonder why some supplements are cheaper than others, why you're getting them in bulk for such a great deal. Maybe that's the ingredients from China. Maybe that's the kind of unregulated ingredients from South America. And you think you're getting 100% cinnamon or you're getting really clean fish oils and you're not, okay? So again, guys, it's this idea. You don't want to take too much medication. You don't want to stay on the medication. You also don't want to be kind of fooled by the nutraceuticals, by the supplement industry to make you think you need 15 different types of supplements to be healthy, okay? Again, especially when you're not looking at your foundation, which is nutrition. Where are these supplements coming from? Where do the medications come from? They're coming from plants. They're coming from whole foods. Remember, guys, these supplements and these pharmaceuticals are coming from food. So if you're not eating healthy food, but you're relying on these supplements, you're doing it backwards. You want to eat healthy, whole plant foods, and then maybe you can look into, yeah, okay, I'll stay on this medication, but I really decrease the dose. Or yeah, I'm still taking fish oil or I'm taking some other supplement, but I'm making sure my nutrition is still number one, okay? I always say double down on your nutrition, okay? I hope seeing questions, I'm not seeing any questions on YouTube, bummer, okay. YouTube people, I'm sorry if I'm not seeing your questions. I'm seeing some on Facebook, hopefully. All right, guys. So again, if you have questions, put them in. I'll be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'll just keep talking forever. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, but if you have questions, put them in. I'll be happy to answer them. So as I'm saying, guys, USP certified, testing for heavy metals and testing for pesticide residue is really, really great. In a supplement, you will find supplements that do all these three things, making sure, again, that your supplement is pure, making sure that you're not just putting in more toxins, because it's the idea that we want less toxins, we want less risk from our food and food-like substances, and in order to keep our body healthy, okay? So what supplements do I recommend for my patients, okay? At the baseline, you know, I really focus on nutrition. I usually don't even talk about supplements the first session with my patients, maybe the second session, or if my patients really, really ask, then we kind of talk about supplements. Someone posted a question. So on my first video, I talked about reversing diabetes. Someone's asking about it. Can type 2 diabetes be reversed? Yes, it can. And so let's quickly summarize the first video I did, which is why you have diabetes in the first place, okay? Why do you have diabetes in the first place? Well, guys, we've been kind of duped to think, oh, it's the sugar, it's the carbs that cause diabetes, okay? Sugar and carbs are the fuel, okay? Sugar and the carbs are the fuel for your body. So again, guys, sugar and carbohydrates are good. Processed sugar and processed carbohydrates are not good. They're very, very different. A lot of the studies done for keto and paleo and everyone telling you to not eat carbohydrates did not differentiate between brownies and cupcakes and quinoa and beans, okay? Very different carbohydrates. So I usually recommend my patients eat I always recommend eat carbohydrates, okay? It varies from patient to patient, but yeah, so it's this idea that it's not carbohydrates that cause diabetes. What actually causes diabetes is intracellular fat in the cell, and then your cell cannot talk to insulin. Now, if you can reverse that, if you could take out the fat of the cell, if you can get rid of this problem with your cell talking to insulin, your cell then opens up and it can talk to insulin. It lets the healthy sugar in. Now, again, guys, it doesn't help if you're eating cupcakes and brownies and cookies and drinking juice and soda. You're just building up more problems for the cell. The cell already can't open. It's already having problems, and you're creating a longer waiting line, right? As you create that longer waiting line, when you're at the grocery store, or imagine the DMV, when the line gets longer and longer and longer, people are getting more and more pissed off. That's what's happening in your body. Your cell is already not opening up, and you're eating more sugar. You're creating a longer and longer line at the DMV, and everyone's going to get pissed. That's when you get all these issues. Okay, so how do you then get the fat out of the cell? You decrease your animal fat, guys. I'm not saying you have to be a vegan. What I'm saying is most people, and I guarantee you, most of you watching, animal products are here. You eat lots of animal products, cheese, eggs, you know, milk, steak, chicken, fish, etc., and your plant products are down here. I'm saying do this. Increase some plant products, slowly decrease some animal products. That's going to help your cell get rid of the intracellular fat. It's going to help insulin work better. You're going to see amazing changes, okay? This segues nicely into someone else that had a question. They're talking about they have really bad neuropathy, okay? So numbing and burning, they get foot blisters. This is very common for a lot of you. So it's a tingling in your hands and your feet. It can feel burning, it keeps you up at night. It really, you know, it really affects you and your lifestyle. It makes it harder for you to work out because maybe doctor or your friends or personal trainer saying, hey, just walk more and run more and exercise more and you'll get rid of your diabetes. No, I would say double down on your nutrition. So that segues nicely because we're talking about the fat in the cell. It's not opening or letting insulin open. You're creating this weight line at the DMV, right, with all the sugar you're eating. So as that line gets longer, as the sugar builds up in your blood, that's why you're getting high blood sugar. That's why your A1C is going up, right? Your A1C used to be 6.2, now it's 7.2, now it's 8.2. And so as the sugar builds up, you get neuropathy. And that's because just like, you know, I have my water bottle here, your water bottle swishes around in there, right? So I wish this was clear, but your blood is like water, okay? It's very similar to water. It moves very quickly, and it should, because your blood has to go from your brain to your toes. It's constantly circulating. What do you think happens to your blood when it's full of sugar? What do you think happens when you're cooking something and you're adding sugar? The liquid gets syrupy, it gets thick. That's exactly what happens to your blood. So now you got this syrupy, thick blood, and it's trying to circulate. It puts more strain on the heart. That's why you get heart disease. It puts more strain on your kidneys. It puts more strain on your entire body. And that just means that the blood gets from your heart and your brain to your toes. So the outer extremities, guys, your fingers and your toes, are the last to get the healthy blood. And if you're really bad with your diabetes, if your A1C is really high, your blood sugar is really high, then your outer extremities, your toes and your fingers, might not even get any oxygen. And that's why they're hurting. That's why they're on fire. That's why they're tingling and numb. You're doing nerve damage, okay? But the good news is, depending, okay, guys, for the most part, you can do some damage, you can have neuropathy, and you can start to reverse it. You pass a point where if you get an amputation or you do a lot of damage, there's no coming back from that, okay? But a lot of you guys, you haven't hit that point yet, and you can reverse it. So I think someone said, so the insurance didn't want to give Lyrica because of the cost, okay? And this person saying they use supplements, apple cider vinegar, magnesium. So what can I? Okay, yeah. So yeah, guys, and a lot of the times we're so quick to say, take Lyrica. Yeah, take the medication. That's what's going to help your neuropathy. Focus on the food, guys. What are you eating? Okay. If the issue is intracellular fat and you're eating tons of fat, okay. If the issue is that the fat is then causing that buildup of sugar, and you're still doing lots of juice and soda, or again, guys, you got to read your ingredients, because you may think it's something healthy, whether it's a bar or a yogurt or whatever, and there's tons of added sugar in there. You're only increasing your risk for these complications like neuropathy and nephropathy, which is kidney issues. So for those of you that are peeing sugar, that's a sign that, again, guys, your DMD line, there's too much sugar in your blood, right? There's too much sugar waiting to get into the cell, and it can't, so your body starts peeing it out. That's not a good thing. You don't want that. It's going to do damage to your kidneys, okay? So what you should do before you spend $60, $100, or $200 on supplements, I always say take that money and invest it at the grocery store, guys. I know a lot of you, or a lot of my patients I come across aren't big fans of all these different vegetables and fruits a lot of the times. But it's the idea that I say double down on the veggies you do like. If you like broccoli, eat more broccoli. If you like beans, eat more beans. If you like fruit, eat more fruit, okay? And so you want to just double down on what you like. And as you make changes, you're going to see that, oh, hey, Brussels sprouts taste a little bit better. You know what? This asparagus I used to not really like. I actually like it now. And as you get plugged in, guys, if you want to, again, visit my website at marriedtohealth.com. You can follow me on Instagram at marriedtohealth. You know what? This recipe I saw, let me try it. It has some spinach and kale and, sweet potato. And someone's saying, once you stop eating junk, you'll start to love new stuff. That's very true. So someone commented that. It's this idea, guys. Again, something I tell my patients is, what is your saliva? Your saliva is basically filtered blood. That's why we can do a DNA test with saliva, right? We do the DNA test, we swab it in the mouth, we get your DNA. That's because your saliva is blood. If your blood, again, is blocked up, if it's full of sugar, your saliva has more sugar in it. Your saliva changes your taste buds. Your saliva makes it harder for you to taste, the yummy, sweet, all the flavors in healthy plant foods. Okay, it makes you crave more of the Doritos and Cheez-Its and ice cream, because your mouth and your enzymes in your mouth and the taste buds in your mouth are desensitized, okay? As you start to add, remember, guys, this scenario, right? Animal products, plant foods, as you start to add more of the plant foods, your taste buds change, your saliva changes. Again, you start to, oh yeah, I like asparagus now. Oh yeah, Brussels sprouts taste pretty good. oh, this quinoa, I tried that 5 years ago and now it's pretty good, right? How many of you guys have done that? I think, someone commented, that they've done that. And as they stopped eating less of the junk, more of the healthy foods, things change. And I'm not saying you're never going to eat junk again, guys. I have ice cream every now and then. I do more of a coconut-based ice cream. It still has sugar in it, but I do it once in a while, guys. I'm not saying you have to be perfect. I'm saying you have to make progress. You're sick if you can't move or walk, if your labs are terrible, if you're on, multiple medications, you need to make progress before it's too late. If you don't make changes and try to make a little bit of progress, you're going to hit this point of no return. Your neuropathy is going to get bad. Your nephropathy is going to get worse. You're going to develop, again, guys, diabetes puts you at more risk for heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, I mean, you name it, diseases across the board, because diabetes is technically a blood disorder. You have too much sugar in your blood. Blood goes pretty much everywhere in the body, guys. So if you have a blood issue, if you have too much sugar in your blood, you're going to create this environment that is destroying your body. Okay. Someone said, what kind of plants? So I give this scenario, okay? I give this analogy. So what we've done is we've made our food like drugs, okay? So we had the coca plant, we made cocaine, we then made crack. It's the same thing of how we had corn, we made corn syrup, and we made high fructose corn syrup. So when I say plants, I just mean any whole plants, whether it's nuts and seeds, whether it's fruits and vegetables, as long as it's like the corn, as long as it's not been refined or processed into a drug, then you're good. So an example of that, what is that? Okay, so let's say you have kale and you made kale juice, that's fine, okay? But then you made this like highly processed kale chip that's full of sugar and salt, and they've added a bunch of refined products, okay? Another example is like you've had apples, you made apple juice, not so good, then you made apple candy, okay? The idea is eat the whole food, because yes, an apple will have sugar, but it's also going to have protein, it's also going to have fiber, it's also going to have phytonutrients, it's also going to have vitamins, minerals. You get the point, right? So it's going to have all these other things that make this package. So when you eat it, your blood sugar is not going to go through the roof. Your blood sugar is going to go, because it has to break down, and it creates a nice little curve. That's the difference between eating whole foods and eating processed food. That's the difference between eating crackers and chips and cookies that you just can't stop eating. Oh my gosh, I ate the whole box, or I'm just gonna have one cookie, and then 4 cookies later, oh man, I ate 4 cookies. Why did I do that? Because those highly refined foods do not have fiber, protein, vitamins, minerals. They don't have that complete package. So when you ask what kind of plants, whole plants, any of them, beans, peas, lentils, fruits, vegetables, even potatoes, sweet potato, purple potato, red potato, leave the skin on, okay? Cook it, you can steam it, you can bake it. You're not gonna drench it with a bunch of oil. Again, guys, so with potatoes, get like people that freak out, like, what do you mean potato? Like, what do you mean? So with potato, if you think about it, guys, it's not really the potato, it's what we do to the potato, right? We make a baked potato, we slab on butter, we slab on sour cream and bacon, and we add all this stuff to a potato and we go, why is this not healthy? Well, it's everything you put onto it. So if you bake some potatoes and they're red potatoes or purple potatoes, and you just put a little olive oil, some Himalayan salt and pepper or something, or you could do a curry, make like curry baked potatoes or something. It's so delicious. It's so good. You can dip them in guacamole or something. It's delicious. So again, guys, any whole plant foods. Should I go for sugar-free or fat-free, or just a balance of both? That's a great question. So then you see sugar-free ketchup or sugar-free syrup or sugar-free whatever, coffee creamer. Should you be doing sugar-free and then fat-free? You see lots of fat-free stuff. Okay, guys? So this goes back to my question, is it a whole food? Is it a whole food? Read the ingredients. So when you read the ingredients of a lot of sugar-free items, you're going to see aspartame. You're going to see sucralose. You're going to see some modified cornstarch. You're going to see, again, those are not whole food ingredients. Those are highly synthetic processed ingredients. Unfortunately, the research that's out there on the sugar-free, because it's sugar-free, they're most likely using an artificial sweetener. So the common names, Sweet and Low, Splenda, right? They have aspartame. That's the main ingredient. So with that artificial sweetener, our body doesn't recognize it. And that's how they get away with saying it doesn't have calories or has very little calories. It's not sugar, it's sugar-free. Okay, our body doesn't recognize it. However, our microbes, the trillions of microbes in our gut, break down these artificial sweeteners into things you don't want in your gut. So if you have gut issues, and a majority of my I'm stuttering now. I'm too excited to talk to you guys. Majority of my diabetic patients do have gut issues, diarrhea, constipation, maybe you have gastritis or you have reflux disease. You're on a medication for your reflux. You're on a medication for IBS as well. Diabetes and gut issues are very much linked together. And these artificial sweeteners make it much worse. So you don't want to do artificial sweeteners. Use fruit. I know this sounds crazy. You're like, my diabetes, I have high blood sugar, eat fruit. Again, guys, I'm not saying fruit juice. I'm not saying fruit candy. I'm not saying, any other processed times. I'm not saying fruit jam. Okay, I'm saying eat whole fruit. If you eat whole fruit, you leave the peel on. If you eat the fruit, you're still getting protein, fiber, vitamins, minerals. You're getting much more than sugar, and it's not going to spike you up. If you have mango juice or apple juice or orange juice, you're processing it, and that's going to spike you up. Big difference, okay? Big difference. So I hope that makes sense. I didn't answer fat-free. Fat-free, again, guys, with fat-free, if they're taking out the fat, a lot of times there's more sugar in it. So that's true for dairy. That's true for mostly everything that's fat-free. They're taking out the fat, they're adding sugar, and that's why it still tastes good. That's why it still sells, okay? And that's why it still lasts long on the shelf, because they're adding sugar. So eat fat, eat avocados, eat coconut, eat nuts and seeds. I'm not saying don't eat fat. I'm saying don't eat the processed fat. And unfortunately, animals fall into that because cheese is not natural, okay? So this might be, a lot of my patients go, what? But when you think about it, guys, cheese is not something natural, guys. There's no tree that grows cheese, or on the animal, there's no cut of cheese that, ooh, look at this cow, let's cut the cheese off of it. No, we take the breast milk of a cow, we get all the fat together, we dump a bunch of salt into it, we dump rennin, and we dump some probiotics in there, and we say, here's this big block of saturated fat and cholesterol. We added a bunch of salt so we can eat it, and we think it's healthy. That doesn't make sense, right, guys? You're eating a block of fat. So how is a block of fat healthy for you? Go back to the cell. Your cell has intracellular fat. You're most likely having liver issues as well. Your liver enzymes are high, or you have high cholesterol. That's all connected, guys. That means your insulin's not going to work, okay? So again, I'm not saying don't eat fat. I'm saying watch out for the processed fat. Eat more whole plant food fat, nuts and seeds, avocado, coconut, all great, olives, great sources of fat. Someone responded, yeah, someone's responding, greens, broccoli, squash, spinach, cabbage, great. Yeah, all great stuff, guys. So, I mean, the plant foods are going to be great. Again, if you don't like cabbage, then don't eat cabbage. If you don't like squash, don't eat squash, okay? If you like spinach, if you like apples, if you like nuts and seeds, start with that, okay? Start with what you like, and then move on to things that you really don't like or haven't tried in years. Again, start at the bottom of your mountain, guys. What I always say is we're all climbing a mountain, even me, okay? I miss my exercise. I get busy with everything I got going on, and I didn't pack my lunch, or I didn't do this. No one's perfect. It's just about progress, guys. And for those of you just starting out, you're at the bottom of the mountain, and that's okay. The idea is you start at the bottom of the mountain and you work your way up, okay? You don't start at the top of the mountain eating kale salads and having green juice and, no, you work your way up there, and eventually you enjoy those things. So those people you see having kale salads and doing green juices and all that, they enjoy it. Okay, I guarantee you, I'm one of them. I enjoy a lovely kale salad. It's delicious to me. Okay, they're not faking it. They're not pretending. They're just on a different part of the mountain, okay, than you. And so again, guys, make sure you're subscribed. I hope you found this informative. Let me know what other questions you have. I'll be sure to answer them either right now or typing. I hope I answered a lot of your questions. We're going to be doing this again in 2 weeks, guys. So this is an online support group. Share with your friends and family. Again, anyone's welcome to join. This is free and open to anyone. We have some wonderful, cool things coming for you guys. This Beat Your Diabetes program is coming. It's going to be super inexpensive. It's going to be, I mean, it's life-changing, guys. You can follow me more intimately at Married to Health if you're on Instagram or Facebook or something else. You want to see what I eat. You want to see what I do pretty much in my everyday life, so you know I'm not full of it. I'm not just making this stuff up. I help my patients reverse their diabetes symptoms as well as other things. And probably this one more question: recommendations for daily amounts of plant fats. That's a great question. So with that, we get a lot of things from trainers and friends and family about macros, right? What's the percentage of protein to fat to carbs that I should get? I say don't worry about it, guys. Again, I want this to be real life. I know you have family and friends and work, and you have hobbies and other. You don't want to be counting your macros, and you don't have to. There's really no recommendation of plant fat, because really all plant foods have some sort of or some amount of fat. Okay, there's some plant foods that have more fats. I don't expect you to sit there and log it in a chronometer and take out everything that has fat in it and then add it up and say, okay, this is what no. If a day you have 2 avocados and then the next day you didn't have avocado, maybe you had seaweed, or one day you had some coconut and olives and not that you ate them together, but separate times, that's okay, guys. I mean, I'm not going to nitpick you about how much fat you're going to eat, versus one day to the next. I say don't count your macros, guys. If you're eating whole plant foods, eating a variety, you're going to get the right amount of fat, you're going to get the right amount of protein, you're going to get the right amount of healthy carbohydrates. You don't have to nitpick it and worry about it. So there's really no recommendation. If I had to give you a range, okay, so for carbohydrates in a day, you're going to get 50 to 80% of your calories from carbs. With protein, it's anywhere from like 10 to 30%. And again, this is a very, very vague, because I don't know how much you're exercising. I don't know your age and your height and your weight. So these are rough ranges. Again, for fat, it could be roughly like 10 to 20 to 25%. Okay. And there's something out there, 80, 10, 10 as well. That's also a rough estimation. So again, guys, you can estimate, but I wouldn't get too consumed with looking at the details of it. If you eat a whole food, plant-based diet, it's going to be great. If you're incorporating more of those plant foods, it's going to be great. You're going to see wonderful changes. You don't have to worry about the actual grams of fat, grams of protein, grams of carbs. It's going to work out, okay? That is all the time we have tonight. Have a wonderful week. I hope you meal planned, get some good sleep. Join us again in 2 weeks. I will post the link, so make sure you're following Beat Your Diabetes and the Diabetes Council on YouTube and Facebook. Again, you can follow me at Married to Health on pretty much all social media channels. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful night, and I will talk to you all soon.